The morning sky over New York blazed with unusual colors as the first alien ships broke through Earth's atmosphere. At first, people stood in awe, recording videos on their phones and pointing at the strange lights above. No one expected what came next. The attack began without warning. Green beams of energy sliced through skyscrapers like hot knives through butter. As buildings crumbled, the streets filled with screaming crowds running for safety. Emergency sirens wailed across every major city on Earth. In the Pentagon's command center, General Robert Wilson watched multiple screens showing similar scenes playing out in London, Tokyo, and Moscow. His weathered face remained calm, but his knuckles turned white as he gripped the edge of the control panel. "Get me the president," he ordered, his voice steady despite the chaos unfolding before him. "And someone tell me why our early warning systems didn't detect these ships sooner." A young officer rushed forward with a tablet showing sensor data. "Sir, they used some kind of technology that made them invisible to our systems. They were right on top of us before we could see them." The president's face appeared on the main screen, looking as shocked as everyone else. "General, what are we dealing with?" "Mr. President, we're under attack by an unknown alien force. At least 50 ships in Earth's orbit, with smaller craft entering our atmosphere. They're targeting major cities worldwide." The room fell silent as a new alert flashed across the screens. The alien ships had started targeting military bases, but humanity wasn't helpless. Years of preparing for possible alien contact hadn't been wasted. Hidden missile silos opened around the globe. Advanced fighter jets, built with reverse-engineered technology from earlier alien crashes, took to the skies. The world's armies moved as one, following plans they had hoped they'd never need to use. A Russian fighter squadron was the first to score a victory. Their experimental plasma cannons proved effective against the alien ship shields. The news spread quickly through military channels, boosting morale across Earth's defense forces. "They can be hurt," General Wilson announced, allowing himself a small smile. "Send word to all commands. Concentrate fire on their engine sections. That's where the shields are weakest." The aliens seemed surprised by Earth's resistance. They had expected an easy victory over what they thought was a primitive world. Instead, they found themselves facing the united planet that refused to go down without a fight. Hour after hour, the battle raged. Cities burned, but their defenders fought on. In orbit, Earth's small but determined space fleet engaged the alien armada, sacrificing themselves to protect their home. The International Space Station's crew used their vessel as a battering ram against one of the largest enemy ships, taking it out in a blast that lit up the night sky. The turning point came 36 hours into the attack. Earth's quantum computers finally cracked the alien communication codes. Military leaders could now hear the enemy's orders and reactions. "They're scared," said Dr. Anna Lee, the lead code breaker. "They didn't expect us to have this level of technology. They're calling us demons in their language." Humanity pressed its advantage. Chinese pulse weapons knocked alien ships out of the sky. Indian gravity disruptors pulled others down to crash in empty deserts. Brazilian sound cannons disrupted the aliens' navigation systems. Then, as suddenly as they had appeared, the remaining alien ships retreated. They broke orbit in a hurry, leaving their damaged vessels and dead behind. The cost had been terrible. Millions dead, cities in ruins, and parts of Earth's surface changed forever by alien weapons. But humanity had survived. More than that, they had proven themselves capable of standing up to an advanced alien civilization. In the Pentagon's command center, General Wilson finally sat down, exhausted but proud. "Get me a complete damage report," he ordered, "and contact our diplomatic corps. Somewhere out there, someone ordered this attack. We need to find out who and why." The post-attack sunrise revealed a changed Earth. Smoke rose from destroyed cities, but so did the human spirit. They had faced their first major alien attack and survived. Now, humanity wanted answers, and they would get them. one way or another. Ambassador James Miller was watching Earth's sunset from his office window on Alpha Centauri Station when the emergency message arrived. His computer screen flashed red, displaying footage of the attack on Earth. His home world was burning. "Computer, get me the fastest transport back to Earth," he ordered, already packing his diplomatic files. As Earth's first and most successful space diplomat, Miller had spent 5 years building relationships with alien races. Now, all that work would be put to the test. The trip back to Earth took 12 hours. 12 hours of watching recorded footage of the attack, studying the alien ship's markings, and making notes. Something about those ships looked familiar. He had seen similar designs in the Galactic Council's military parades. Earth's atmosphere was still thick with smoke when his ship landed at the emergency government base in the Rocky Mountains. Armed guards escorted him through underground tunnels to a large room where Earth's remaining leaders had gathered. "Ambassador Miller," the president said, standing to greet him. Her suit was wrinkled, and her eyes showed she hadn't slept in days. "Thank you for coming so quickly." Miller looked around the room. Military leaders from different countries sat together, their usual rivalries forgotten in the face of this greater threat. Screens on the walls showed the worldwide damage report. It was worse than he had imagined. "What do we know?" Miller asked, taking his seat at the round table. General Wilson stepped forward with a holographic display. "The attack lasted 48 hours. We lost major cities, but our defense systems proved stronger than they expected. Their retreat was sudden and unplanned." "And the ships?" Miller leaned forward, studying the hologram. "Did we capture any?" "3 crashed vessels," a Chinese general answered. "The technology matches what we've seen from the Galactic Council's inner circle worlds." Miller's face darkened. He had spent years dealing with the Council's politics. "The inner circle wouldn't attack us directly. They're too careful for that. But they might have approved the attack in secret." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Earth had joined the galactic community as a junior member 5 years ago. Some council members had opposed accepting humans, calling them too aggressive and unpredictable. "We're giving you emergency powers," the president announced. "Full authority to represent Earth at the council. Find out who did this and make them pay, through diplomatic channels if possible." Miller nodded, already forming plans. "I'll need all the evidence we gathered. Attack patterns, ship recordings, everything. And I want to visit one of the crash sites before I leave." They took him to a secure facility in Nevada, where one of the alien ships lay partially intact. As Miller walked through the wreckage, he noticed something interesting. Parts of the ship had been deliberately stripped of identifying marks. "They tried to hide who they are," he said to the scientists following him. "But they made mistakes. These engine designs are unique to the Centauri sector. The attack formation they used is taught at the Council's military academy." They left breadcrumbs. Back in the command center, Miller prepared for his mission. He would travel to the Galactic Council headquarters on Station 0, the massive space station where representatives from 1,000 worlds debated the future of the galaxy. "Remember," the president said as he prepared to leave, "Earth is trusting you. We need allies, justice, and protection against future attacks." Miller looked at the latest casualty reports one last time before boarding his ship. Millions dead, cities destroyed, but humanity had survived and fought back. Now it was his turn to fight, not with weapons but with words and evidence. "The Council thinks they know humans," he said to himself as his ship lifted off. "They're about to learn how dangerous we can be when we seek justice. And this time, we'll do it their way, through law and diplomacy." His ship disappeared into the stars, carrying Earth's hopes for justice with it. Station 0 appeared in Miller's view screen like a giant metal flower blooming in space. Its massive petals housed the chambers of the Galactic Council, while thousands of ships moved around it like busy bees. Under normal circumstances, the sight would have been beautiful. Today, it made Miller's jaw tighten with determination. As his ship approached the docking bay, he received an unexpected message. Ambassador Miller, please dock at Bay 7. A friend is waiting. The friend turned out to be Representative Gray, a tall alien from the Outer Rim worlds. His silver skin reflected the station's lights as he waited by the airlock. Gray had always supported Earth in council matters, and his presence here wasn't an accident. They know you're coming, Gray said as they walked through the station's gleaming corridors. The inner circle is nervous. 3 members have already left the station. Miller nodded, carrying his briefcase of evidence close. Running away only makes them look guilty. Who ordered the attack, Gray? Gray led them into a quiet garden area, designed to look like an alien forest with blue trees and purple grass. The Trade Council felt threatened by Earth's growing space economy. The Military Council feared your rapid technology development. Together, they convinced others that Earth needed to be put in its place. They failed, Miller said, touching a strange flower that closed its petals at his touch. Earth fought back harder than they expected. Now they've made an enemy they didn't need to make. It's worse than that. Gray lowered his voice. Some council members wanted Earth's resources. They thought a quick show of force would make humans surrender. Instead, you destroyed their ships and exposed their plans. They reached Gray's private office, a room filled with holographic displays showing news from across the galaxy. Earth's battle was playing on several screens. Miller watched as human fighters took down alien ships 3 times their size. The council is divided, Gray explained, bringing up images of different council members. The inner circle worlds want to cover everything up. The outer rim worlds, like mine, think this attack was wrong. The neutral worlds are waiting to see what happens next. Miller unpacked his evidence on Gray's desk. I have proof that council weapons were used against Earth. Their ships carried council military codes. They even used attack patterns from the council's own training manual. Be careful with that evidence, Gray warned, his silver skin dimming with concern. The inner circle has assassins. They won't want this information made public. Then we'll make it very public. Miller smiled, pulling out a small device. This transmitter will broadcast everything to every council member's private channel during my speech. No one can stop it once it starts. Gray's eyes widened. That's why you're telling me this now. You want the outer rim worlds ready to support Earth when the evidence comes out. Exactly, Miller said. Earth doesn't want war. We want justice, fair trade, and our rightful place in the galaxy. Will your world stand with us? Gray touched a complicated pattern on his desk, sending messages to his allies. The outer rim has always been treated as second class by the inner circle. If Earth wins this diplomatic battle, maybe things will finally change for all of us. Miller spent the next hours preparing for the council meeting. He reviewed the evidence, practiced his speech, and memorized the names and weaknesses of every council member who had supported the attack. As station night approached, Gray returned with news. It's done. 27 outer rim worlds will support Earth's case. The inner circle is still trying to cancel tomorrow's meeting, but they can't find a legal way to do it. Miller looked out the office window at the endless stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, still smoking from the attack but undefeated. Tomorrow, he would face the most powerful beings in the galaxy and demand justice for his people. Thank you, Gray, he said quietly. Tomorrow, we change the galaxy. The main council chamber was a perfect circle, with rising tiers of seats that could hold representatives from 200 worlds. Miller stood at the center, feeling the weight of every alien eye upon him. The chamber's high ceiling sparkled with artificial stars, a reminder of what connected all species, the same vast universe they shared. The council recognizes Ambassador James Miller of Earth, announced the council leader, a tall being with crystalline features. You may present your case. Miller touched his transmitter, hidden in his jacket pocket. The device would start broadcasting evidence to every council member's private screen when he gave the signal. He looked up at the gathered aliens, some humanoid, others completely strange, all powerful. 3 days ago, Miller began, his voice clear and strong. Ships bearing Council markings attacked Earth. They killed millions of my people. They destroyed cities that took centuries to build. They thought we would be easy prey. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Some council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The attackers made 3 mistakes, Miller continued. First, they underestimated humanity's strength. Second, they left evidence of their crimes. And third, he paused, touching the transmitter. They thought they could hide their actions from this council. Suddenly, every private screen in the chamber lit up. Videos showed the attacking ships clearly bearing Council military markings. Recorded transmissions proved the attackers used Council military codes. Technical data matched the weapons to specific Council worlds. "This is outrageous," shouted a representative from the inner circle, his scaled face turning dark with anger. "These records could be faked. The evidence is real." Gray stood up from his seat, his silver skin gleaming. "My world's experts have verified everything. Earth speaks the truth." More representatives began to rise. The Outer Rim worlds, just as Gray had promised, voiced their support for Earth. The chamber erupted in arguments and shouts. Miller raised his hand, waiting for quiet. "We are not here for revenge. Earth wants justice, not war. We demand to know who ordered this attack, and we want guarantees it will never happen again." The council leader tried to maintain order as accusations flew between inner circle and outer rim representatives. Miller stood calmly in the center, watching alliances shift before his eyes. "Look at these casualty reports." Miller's voice cut through the chaos. New images appeared on the screens. Destroyed cities, injured civilians, brave defenders sacrificing themselves to protect others. Is this what the council stands for? Secret attacks, killing innocent people, or does it stand for law, justice, and peace? A silence fell over the chamber. Even the council leader seemed moved by the images. The inner circle believed Earth was too dangerous to be allowed to grow stronger, Miller said into the quiet. They saw our quick learning, our advancing technology, our determination to reach the stars. But instead of working with us, they chose to try to destroy us. He walked in a slow circle, meeting the eyes of different representatives. "You failed. Humanity survived. Now you have a choice. Work with us as equals or face the consequences of your actions." "What consequences?" asked the scaled representative who had objected earlier. "You are one world against many." Miller smiled. "Look at your screens one last time." New data appeared. Trade agreements between Earth and Outer Rim worlds, military alliance offers, technology sharing deals, all signed and ready, waiting for Earth's approval. "We may be one world," Miller said, "but we're not alone anymore. Earth's allies include a third of this council's members. Together, we can reshape the galaxy into something better, or we can let the council tear itself apart over this attack." The council leader's crystal features caught the light as he leaned forward. "Ambassador Miller, what exactly does Earth want?" Miller stood straight, his voice carrying to every corner of the chamber. "Justice for the attack, changes to prevent this from happening again, and Earth's full membership in the council, not as a junior member, but as an equal." The vote that followed would change the galaxy forever. The hours after Miller's speech turned Station Zero into a storm of political activity. Meeting rooms filled with urgent discussions, private channels buzzed with messages, and alliances shifted like sand in the wind. Miller watched it all from Gray's office, drinking something that looked like coffee but tasted like mint. 3 more inner circle worlds just switched sides, Gray announced, checking his holographic displays. "They're afraid of losing their trade routes with the Outer Rim. Your plan worked better than we expected." Miller nodded, studying the station's security feeds. Groups of representatives huddled in corners, arguing and making deals. Some looked scared, others angry, and a few seemed relieved that the truth was finally out. "The military council is in emergency session," a message flashed across Gray's screen. The same council that had helped plan the attack on Earth was now fighting for its survival. Half its members had already resigned. What happens to them? Gray asked, his silver skin rippling with curiosity. That depends on how they vote on Earth's demands, Miller replied. He opened his briefcase and pulled out more documents. Phase 2 begins now. Miller's next meetings were with the trade representatives. Earth had prepared for this moment, offering deals that would benefit both sides. The Outer Rim worlds would get access to human creativity and determination, while Earth would receive advanced technology and protection. Your people learned so quickly, one trade representative said, signing another agreement. In 5 years, you went from basic spaceflight to building ships that could fight our best vessels. Imagine what we could achieve together instead of fighting. The inner circle worlds that had supported the attack found themselves increasingly isolated. Their traditional allies were abandoning them, choosing trade with Earth and the Outer Rim instead of maintaining old loyalties. They're asking for a private meeting, Gray reported, showing Miller a message from the inner circle leaders. They want to negotiate. Miller straightened his tie. Good. Have them meet me in the garden chamber. Let's see how they handle being the ones asking for mercy. The garden chamber was where Miller had first learned about the plot against Earth. Now he sat waiting as the inner circle representatives filed in. Their usual confidence was gone, replaced by nervous glances and fidgeting hands. Earth's terms are simple, Miller said before they could speak. Full confession of your involvement in the attack. Payment to help rebuild our cities. Technology transfers to help us defend ourselves. In return, Earth will not demand your removal from the Council. You're being very generous, one representative said suspiciously. Why? Miller stood and walked to the strange blue trees. Because Earth doesn't want enemies. We want partners. You tried to destroy us because you feared our potential. Now you can help us reach that potential, and we'll help you in return. The deal was signed within an hour. News spread quickly through Station Zero. The crisis was ending. Earth had won not through force, but through clever diplomacy and strong alliances. Back in his temporary quarters, Miller sent a message to Earth. Phase 2 complete. The Council has accepted our terms. The vote for full membership is tomorrow, but it's just a formality now. We've won. The President's reply was quick. Well done, Ambassador. Earth's cities are already being rebuilt. The Council's technology will help us create something even better than before. Miller looked out at the stars again, thinking about how much had changed. The attack meant to destroy Earth had instead made it stronger. Humanity had gained allies, technology, and respect. The galaxy would never be the same. Message from the Council leader. Gray called from the doorway. They're ready to begin drafting the new Council charter. Earth will help write the laws we'll all live by. Miller smiled. Then let's not keep them waiting. The future won't build itself. The Council chamber looked different on voting day. The artificial stars above seemed brighter, and the rising tiers of seats were completely full. Even representatives who usually sent proxies had come in person. They all knew they were about to witness history. Miller stood in the center again, but this time he wasn't alone. Gray and 20 other representatives stood with him, showing their support for Earth's full membership in the Council. We will now vote on Resolution 7249, the Council leader announced, his crystal features catching the light. The resolution includes 4 major points: Earth's elevation to full Council membership, reparations for the attack, technology sharing agreements, and new laws to prevent unauthorized military actions. The chamber's main screen lit up, ready to count the votes. Miller had spent the last 3 days making sure of the outcome, but he still felt his heart beat faster as the voting began. Green lights started appearing on the screen. Votes in favor, first from the Outer Rim worlds, then from Earth's new trade partners. Even some inner circle worlds, seeing which way the wind was blowing, voted yes. The vote stands at 78% in favor. The Council leader announced. Resolution 7249 is passed. Earth is now a full member of the Galactic Council. Applause filled the chamber. Miller received congratulations from dozens of representatives, but his mind was already on the next steps. The real work was just beginning. Within hours, the first reparation ships were heading to Earth. They carried advanced medical technology to help the injured, construction machines that could rebuild cities in days instead of years, and defense systems to protect against any future attacks. The military council has been completely reformed, Gray reported, showing Miller the latest updates. The new members are mostly from worlds that supported Earth. They've already started sharing defensive technology with your people. Miller nodded, reviewing the technology transfer agreements. Earth would receive faster-than-light drive improvements, advanced energy systems, and medical technology centuries ahead of what they had. In return, humanity would share their unique approaches to problem-solving and their rapidly advancing computer systems. Your people adapt technology in ways we never considered, one of the science representatives admitted. You look at our inventions and immediately think of new uses for them. It's both impressive and a little frightening. The inner circle worlds were keeping their promises too, though not happily. Their reparation payments would help rebuild Earth's cities. Their military secrets were being shared with Earth's defenders. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted. Message from Earth, Gray announced, bringing up a holographic display. They've already started using the new construction technology. Your cities are rising again, better than before. The images showed amazing progress. Buildings that would have taken years to rebuild were going up in days. Parks and gardens were being regrown with advanced biological technology. The scars of the attack were healing. Miller's final task was to help write the new council laws, the rules that would prevent another world from suffering what Earth had endured. He worked with representatives from 30 worlds, combining different legal traditions into something new. These laws will protect all of us, he told the drafting committee. Not just the powerful worlds, but every member of the council. What happened to Earth must never happen again. The new laws passed unanimously. They required full council approval for any military action, established a rapid response force to protect member worlds, and created a system of checks and balances to prevent any group from becoming too powerful. In his final message to Earth before heading home, Miller wrote, "We didn't just survive the attack. We turned it into an opportunity to make the galaxy better. Earth now has allies, advanced technology, and a voice in shaping the future. Our enemies wanted to destroy us. Instead, they made us stronger than ever." The president's reply was simple. "Come home, Ambassador. Help us build something amazing with all these new possibilities." Miller looked forward to seeing the new Earth rising from the ashes of the attack. But first, he had one more task, helping create the new galactic order that would ensure peace for generations to come. 1 year after the attack, Earth looked very different. Miller stood at the window of his new office in the Global Unity Tower, looking out at the rebuilt city below. The old concrete and steel had been replaced with materials that seemed to glow softly in the sunlight. Gardens grew up the sides of buildings, and flying vehicles moved smoothly between them. "Ambassador, the alien delegation is here," his assistant announced through the intercom. Miller smiled. Even now, people call him Ambassador, though his official title was Earth's Council Representative. He turned from the window to greet his visitors, representatives from former enemy worlds who now came to Earth to learn and trade. "Welcome to Earth," he said, gesturing to the view. "As you can see, we've been busy." The aliens looked out at the city in wonder. Where they had expected to find anger and resentment, they instead discovered a world eager to move forward. Earth had used the attack as motivation to rebuild something better. "Your people work so quickly," one of the visitors said, watching a new building take shape in the distance. Construction robots using alien technology could now complete in days what once took months. But the physical rebuilding was just the beginning. Earth's hospitals now used advanced healing technology that could cure most diseases. Schools taught students using holographic displays and direct brain learning systems. Farms produced more food than ever using genetic improvements shared by alien allies. Report from the Mars colony, sir, Miller's assistant interrupted, bringing in a tablet. The Red Planet's first major city was ahead of schedule, built using the same technology that had helped rebuild Earth. Humanity's growth is impressive, Gray said, appearing on a holographic screen. His silver skin shimmered as he spoke. Some council members worry you're advancing too fast again. Miller laughed. But this time they won't attack. They'll come to us for trade deals instead. He was right. Earth's unique way of combining different alien technologies had made it a valuable trading partner. In orbit above Earth, the new defense fleet stood ready. Ships built with a mixture of human innovation and alien technology patrolled the solar system. They would never be caught unprepared again. The latest trade numbers are in, Gray reported. Earth is now the biggest trading partner for 15 Outer Rim worlds. Your exports of improved technology have doubled in the last month. Earth's scientists had taken the alien technology they received and found new ways to use it. Their improvements were so valuable that even the inner circle worlds had to trade with them now. Miller left his office to take the delegates on a tour. They'd visited a learning center where children used alien technology to explore virtual stars. They saw a hospital where injuries that once took months to heal were fixed in hours. They watched as a space elevator carried supplies to the orbital stations. "A year ago, you tried to destroy us," Miller said to his visitors as they watched a shuttle launch. "Now look at what we've built together instead. Was it worth giving up your plans for war?" The aliens had to agree. Working with Earth had brought them more benefits than trying to destroy it. Humanity's creativity and determination, combined with alien technology, was changing the galaxy in ways no one had expected. Later that day, Miller sent his weekly report to the Council. Earth's progress continued to exceed all predictions. They weren't just rebuilding. They were creating something entirely new. "Sometimes I wonder," Gray said in their private channel, "if the attack was the best thing that could have happened to Earth. It forced the galaxy to recognize your potential." Miller looked out at his city one last time before heading home. Flying cars moved between the gleaming towers. People from a dozen alien worlds walked the streets. Children played with technology that would have seemed magical a year ago. "We didn't just survive," he replied to Gray. "We showed the galaxy a better way forward. And this is just the beginning." Above the city, the first stars were becoming visible in the evening sky. But they weren't distant and unreachable anymore. They were humanity's new frontier. And this time, they were ready for whatever the galaxy might bring.